I usually have mine done by this time. Rolling? Are we live? All right. Yeah, rolling. We've been rolling. Okay, so everybody knows what question I'm going to ask. Everybody write their business plan down. You know what's coming, Ed. You saw it yesterday, a preview. No, I'm just kidding. When I raise my hand, don't make me. Okay, well, good morning. It is the morning grind. It is Tuesday, October the 17th, and we are into the fourth quarter of the year, Q4. So just like a football, okay, that's the other thing too. Josh, you've really inspired me, man.
Really?
You do such a great job with Football Friday.
Oh, thank you.
That's your lane. Like literally, I could see you, 10 years from now selling homes in a new subdivision or a development like all that stuff. But 10 years from now, I could also see, Lee Corso's long gone and retired, and who's taking his place? Josh does a great job. I really appreciate it. I'm not even a big college football fan. You may not know this. You probably noticed because you don't see me pick games because I try to stay away from gambling of too much. I mean, me and my friends have swapped the same $50 on the golf course for the last 15 years. I mean, but
Anything to lose on ours.
well, it's still the point. My brother was a degenerate gambler. God bless him. He was the funnest person I've ever been around my entire life. But, son, you will wake up without electricity about half the time. That's the way it's going to work. That's just the way it is. Yeah, I learned that lesson early. Yeah.
That's Football Friday one time, and now he's off in Vegas.
Yeah, right. I got to know my limits, man. But. Well, now, yeah, exactly. I was always grateful to him for that because it's like I didn't have to go through all that to understand that's just not a plan for me, But I've got an application right now for a borrower she makes a lot of money gambling and is engaged to a professional gambler.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I guess,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's one of those.
What's her number?
Yeah.
Could you give me her picks?
Yeah. Well, I think she's a card person, I guess.
I see.
Which I think that's two different buckets. I think the bucket of games of chance in that sense, and then like picking the line, that is a science, man. I mean, it is just amazing. That's why people think the fix is in sometimes when they have field goals in junk time and just different things like that or don't score or whatever. But it's really amazing how good those guys are at picking the lines. But
anytime it doesn't go to my favor, it's fixed.
What's that now?
Anytime it doesn't go in my favor, Vegas fixed it. I just know it.
Yeah, every time the Vols lose, the fix was in. Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah, I understand. Well, you've inspired me a little bit because I root for the home team, right? That's it. So I used to play fantasy football, but it really unnerved me that I was in a competitive situation and I wouldn't end up on top because I didn't make a midweek trade, because I didn't follow the injury reports. That drove me crazy. So I was like, okay, to lose your ass to somebody who just mails in their picks, it's like, it drove me crazy. So anyway, I couldn't just root for the home team. I had two laptops out, and you're watching the game, and you're like, "Hey, we're in the playoffs, and I want to win the game, but I want this back to go for $150 and 2 touches." It's like, I just couldn't do it. And I also realized that the joy for me is in rooting for the home team. So whether they win, whether they lose, that's really not the ultimate point. The ultimate point is it's that time during the week that I get to root for the home team, right? And so where this comes back to Josh is I've been inspired recently because I'm coming to the understanding that not many people feel like the Titans have a very good chance of winning the Super Bowl. See, I feel the doubt. I feel it. But here's the thing. The thing is they do. They can and they will. I believe that firmly. The Titans are going to win the Super Bowl. So every week before so I realized that I had all these reasons why the Titans were going to win the Super Bowl. But my wife, it's like she doesn't even believe it, right? It's like, what do you mean I mean, to me, it's just obvious. So I feel like I need to, give everybody my reason each week why the Titans are going to win the Super Bowl. So if you ever need a reason to figure out sometime between now and the game on I guess we're off this week, the following week, if you ever doubt that the Titans are going to win the Super Bowl, all you need to do is tune into my page. I'll give you the reason why the Titans are going to win the Super Bowl. Anyway.
Like that.
Yeah, that's every week. So I will give you the reason why we're going to win the Super Bowl. Okay. So enough of that. Let's go around. What are you grateful for this morning, Josh?
I am grateful that we had a good softball season, but it's over. Hasn't lasted.
All right. Did you win anything?
We lost.
Lost?
The championship.
You won at life?
Runner up.
Runner up.
Right. So you were better than how many other teams?
I don't know.
Were there only 2 teams in the league? That would be.
You want it putting in effort.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah. All right.
The team that was supposed to play in the semifinals forfeited, so
Yeah. We were supposed to play
they
somebody,
didn't show up.
and they forfeited, so we automatically got to go to the championship.
I got you.
That's a win.
That's a win. You know, hey,
I'll
it's
take a win any way I can.
it's like in golf, man. There's not a description. There's not space for a description on the scorecard, right?
That's right.
You just write it down. Josh, what are you thankful for besides that were you on this same team?
No, I was on the same team, but I didn't go last night. It's too late. That's my bedtime.
I understand.
I'm thankful for my good buddy Jacob Smith.
All right, why is
I
that?
don't know if you know him or not, but he's
No,
my
no.
accountability partner this morning. We ran 5 miles on the treadmill together.
Nice. Same treadmill? Okay, because that would have been really impressive. But still, nonetheless, side by side, separate treadmills.
Yeah, I wanted to quit halfway through, and I looked at him. He was about to die, and I was like,
Now, what kind of pace? What kind of pace were you keeping?
7:10 pace.
Well, that's why you were trying to die, man.
I
mean-
finished in 35 minutes and 37 seconds.
I learned quick when we were in Florida, man. You guys, you and Pruitt and all, y'all are just floating out there, man. I may run 26 miles, but it's going to take me, 3 or 4 days. It's not fast,
My
but
goal is actually to run a marathon.
oh yeah, have you written that down?
Yeah, next year.
Which one are you going to run?
I want to run one locally because I don't want to have to drive far away. I'm hoping that Nashville has it because they come up in the beginning of the year, but I'm going to train for it for next year. Hopefully Nashville has one mid-year, June, July time. So.
There may be one, maybe in Memphis, but some pretty close. I mean, obviously the biggest one's Nashville's, the Music City.
That I've wanted
I've
to
run that twice.
Did you like it?
Oh yeah, it's great. It is the best civic event. I mean, it's just you'd be shocked at how big of an event it is.
Yeah.
There's 2 signs that are my 2 favorite signs from running the Music City Marathon. I've run the half a bunch of times, but I've only run the full only 3 times. Anyway, there's always signs, people dressing up and different things, but there's 2 signs that are my favorites. And you'll appreciate this if you've ever run more than 8 or 9 miles or whatever. But one sign is the nipple cafe is open because you're gonna get all kind of burns and and then the other one that was my favorite was about 10 miles in, there was a guy standing on the side. My first marathon, I was about 10 or 12 miles in. It was getting hard, but he had a sign that said, "Relax, you're not gonna win." That was my other favorite because there's somebody. I was 10 miles in, somebody else had already finished. I think it's like I think they just set a record 2 hours or something. I couldn't drive that far in 2 hours. It'd take me longer than that to drive to Clarksville.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's crazy.
Well, good luck with it. If you ever want to train together, I'd help you on that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'll go on some long runs with you. I'll share anything I learn.
Training started this week, so I'll let you know.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I need to try to get a half in. I've always figured that getting a half marathon in every year is kind of my self-check. It's like if I can get my own tail moving under my own power for 13.1 miles, every year I can do that.
Yeah.
Things are pretty good.
I would like to do a half marathon soon. this year.
Yeah, that'd be your midpoint. I'll run a half with you because I've got to get one in anyway. We should get out the calendars and figure that out. I've been running about 5 or 6 miles, something like that, but I haven't got my half in for this year. It'll have to be sometime before the end of the year.
All right, let's do it.
There may be a frosty run or something. There may be
I
something.
love running those cold ones too.
Yeah.
That's what I would want to do.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. Anyway, well, you know why they run 26.2 miles, right?
No. I don't.
Because 26.3 miles would be crazy.
I thought there was a science behind it. I thought you were about to-
There is actually a reason. It's because, and I can't remember the exact reason why, or the exact cities, but there was a battle in ancient Greece, the Romans, something in antiquity, and there was some stuff going down, and somebody was like, "You got to go let such and such know what's happening or what's going on," and where they went was Marathon, Greece, or Marathon something,
yes.
and it was 26.2 miles away.
Gotcha. Okay, that's actually cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, at any rate. Okay, so we're about out of time for the show. And I started out saying, hey, we're going to spend some important time together.
Good show.
But yeah, good show. You give good show. But Ed, what are you grateful for? We're going to go ahead and run a little bit long this morning.
I'm grateful that my shoulder's healing up on pace, on that good pace.
Yeah, man, I'm thankful for that. It's always a good thing, man, because it's important when you go through something like that. Stay to your routine all the way through, even when you feel better. Be my
physical therapy and
gotcha. Okay, very good. Well, we'll be here to help you out, man. Allie, what are you grateful for?
I'm thankful we were able to get it to where we could help Tiffany.
Yes,
Under contract.
yes, that is a big win. Yes, absolutely. That is a really great example of staying focused on the client, figuring out any way that you can to help, turn over every stone, and then see if you can get that highest and best conclusion for everybody. And yeah, well, fingers crossed, but feeling good about it, and she's gonna be super happy. She's gonna give you a ton of referrals for
Oh,
that.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it. I'm just happy.
to have a house by Christmas.
Yeah,
So.
yeah,
For her.
yeah.
Good for you.
I can't wait to see pictures of her having Thanksgiving
I know,
in her
I'm
new little place. Yeah.
I said, I'm gonna have to come see it when you get it all set up, because she's
Yeah.
been telling me all about the.
Don't lose my invitation to dinner, girl. You know, that's just what it is. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple of minutes, not run too awful long, but Ed, you and I had a little funny moment about it yesterday in my office. I told these guys what I was thinking about doing, which I'm not going to do. And they were like, yeah, we should. So I could feel they were like, yeah, you probably should beat us up a little bit. But I myself have not finished putting my business plan in writing, but I would ask you, again, put your plans for next year in writing. And I'm assuming no one else has. Have you put your plans in writing? In writing? Okay, so I come here every Tuesday morning, and I come here for y'all. I mean, I understand there's an audience out there. I understand there's millions that are tuning in. I mean, I get all that, but I'm not really here for them. I used to at first talk to the camera like I was here for everybody that was out there, but that's not really true. I am here for you guys. And if you guys don't want to have the ability to grow from that time or spend that time moving together, well, then I'm kind of wasting your time. I'm wasting my time coming over here every Tuesday morning, right? And I believe in what you guys are doing a whole lot more than that. So I'm going to hold you to account. And when I come here next Tuesday, I'm going to want to see that you have written down your business plan for next year. Does it have to be complete? No. Does it need to be in writing? Yeah, and I'm going to remind you. I'm not going to just say, Van, take us out of here and not say anything about it. I will be reminding you. And if you don't at least outline hey, I want to do a certain amount of transactions, or I want to do a certain amount of dollars, or I want to learn a certain skill, whatever it may be, because do you guys ever heard the expression unintended consequences?
Yes.
Okay, so what do you think the unintended consequences are going to be if you don't write your plan down? If you don't write your plan down,
You're not going to be clear on what you need to do to get there.
yes,
Maybe not as motivated.
maybe not. How could you be?
You don't know what you're.
You don't even know what the target is, right? I mean, so think about that. I mean, think about that for yourself. It's not for me. I mean, it's for y'all. So I'm going to hold you to account. I will email you. I will let you know. Hey, and anybody else that's here that usually comes that's not here this morning, Randy or whomever it may be, share it with them. Because the other thing is once you share it with them, what happens?
They hold you accountable.
And you take responsibility.
Right.
That's why I'm being the teacher, and that's why I've always loved teaching. Because if I'm teaching some material, then you have to be an owner of that material. You can't not own that material if you're going to teach it. So I'm going to do you the biggest favor that I can do, help you the most that I can, which is tell you, bring your written business plans next week. And again, they don't have to be fully complete to every detail, but write them down, frame it out, give yourself something you can start working on, and then we'll work on it a little bit more and a little bit more, and we'll get there so that you guys at least start in the next year. And the reason I've not finished mine is because it's hard right now in to know exactly what's going to be happening. But what I do know is no matter what, not having a plan is going to have the unintended consequence of performing at my job less than I feel like I could. And so even if the plan is, you know what, I'm going to make this many new introductions, or I'm going to learn this new skill, or it could even be I'm going to focus on trying to understand how to overcome adversity. And the way I'm going to do that is once a month, I'm going to look at what's gone wrong and then figure out how I can turn that into something positive. Because really, as you go through that present time next year while you're going through the market, I have no idea. Rates could be 12%. I mean, basically, we have no idea. Truly, we have no idea. So I would say that if you make a plan that says, I'm going to survive and thrive in a 6% market, well, if you're in a 10% market, your plan is out the window. So I think part of your plan needs to be, how am I going to emotionally handle things that are thrown my way that I didn't plan for? How am I going to emotionally handle change? Is that something that holds me back? So think about those sorts of things, because your plan becomes both an economic model and goal in writing, but it's more than that. It's a living, breathing way for you to learn and grow in all of the areas of your life. It's not just, I'm going to make 100 calls a week or whatever it may be. So with that being said, we've gone way too long, but it was important to me. Van, take us out of here.